Hello, my name is Hika Ito, and I'm the president of BizMates Philippines and one of the co-founders of BizMates. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate you on passing the screening process. That's probably the most difficult part of the hiring process. We lose about 80% of our applicants right there. Okay? So congratulations on making it to this next step. And everything that's in this video is to help you pass the interview, okay, the next step. The number one reason that people fail the interview is because they're not prepared. They don't know what to expect. They think it's going to be a casual interview because it's a home-based job. That's not the case. We're looking for people who are serious about teaching and who are going to take this job seriously. So, I explain everything in this video, so please make sure you watch the whole video and read all the files and documents that's provided to you. Make sure that you're ready. Show us that you really want this. Okay? So, let's look at our application process. So, the first step is the application and the English test, which you've already passed. Next is the job interview, okay? Which is 1 hour long, and there are two parts, the interview and the demonstration lesson. You'll have a chance to do a mock lesson, but not to worry because I'll explain, what you need to do. And then after you pass that, you go to training, final demo, and then you could start teaching. Okay, so let's find out what you need to do to pass this interview. So the interview consists of two parts. The interview, which is about 30 minutes long. Your interviewer is going to ask you questions, to get to know you better about your education, your work experience, your interests, and so on. Also, they'll do a short grammar test they're going to ask you to use what we call the yes-no key logic. And I'm going to introduce that in this video. But you're going to have to use or perform this yes-no key logic in the interview. Okay? And then the demonstration lesson, which is the second half, 30 minutes. We've provided you with a lesson plan. We want to see your potential to become a good teacher. And if you have teaching experience, show us what you have. Okay? All right. So preparing for the interview, let's start with the basics. Workstation and attire. Have a white background, a nice wall or white curtain. If you don't have white, at least a light color, plain background. A well-lit and quiet place. Have good lighting. Tell your family to be quiet during this interview. This is a job interview, so a nice quiet place, okay, is needed. Dress professionally. Okay, we get a lot of applicants who are under the impression that this is a casual interview and they come wearing a t-shirt. Don't be one of those people, okay? Show us that you really want this. Internet connection. Your internet connection is your lifeline, okay? So you need a wired connection. Don't rely on Wi-Fi. It's too risky, okay? It looks really bad if, midway in your interview you lose connection and you have to call the interviewer back. Have a wired connection. You should have at least 1 Mbps download and 0.5 Mbps upload. You could do a connection test on speedtest.net, okay? You should also do a connection check with your friend before the interview. Make sure everything's in working order. Don't take any chances, okay? Technical requirements. You need the latest version of Skype. Just upgrade it, okay? It's free. You need a headset. Not earphones, okay? Headset with a mic, okay? And if you have one with a noise canceling feature, that's great. Preferably a noise canceling feature. If you don't have one, that's okay, but I strongly suggest you get one if you make it to the end and start teaching, okay? And a PC, not a tablet, not a smartphone, a PC, a Mac is okay with a camera. Okay, you will be required to turn on to have a video interview. Okay. In the recruitment video, I talked about the 5 areas that we focus on. I'm not going to talk about them in detail in this video, but I want you to go back to the recruitment video and make sure you understand this. Because you bet our interviewers are going to ask you questions about this and they'll ask for your opinion. Okay, so make sure you have a good understanding of what I mean, with this image here. Okay. The yes-no key logic. This is part of the grammar test in the interview. Now, at BizMates, we don't teach grammar rules to our student. We teach grammar by showing them how it's properly used and by asking them 3 types of questions. That's the yes question, the no question, and the key question. Key just means the WH questions. When, where, why, who, what, and how, those questions. Okay? And I'm going to demonstrate this to you because you are going to have to use this yes-no key logic in your interview. Okay? But it's not that difficult. Now, here we have a sentence. Tim lives in Tokyo. Simple sentence. Now, in the interview, you are going to be asked to create a yes question, a no question, and a key question for this sentence. Let me show you. The yes question is is just a question so that the other person answers yes. So, Tim lives in Tokyo. The yes question would be, does Tim live in Tokyo? The answer is yes, he does, right? Yeah. That's the yes question. You need to use the same grammar structure. Okay? Not, is Tim, male? Or is Tim a short name? My answer is yes, but that's incorrect. You use the same structure, grammar structure. Tim lives in Tokyo, so the question is does. Does Tim live in Tokyo? The second question you need to come up with is the no question. So the answer should be no. So the question would be, does Tim live in Manila? So I just changed the place from Tokyo to Manila. And the answer is no, he doesn't. The key question should be linked to the no question because the question is asking about Manila. Tokyo, Manila. So I'm not going to ask who. I'm not going to ask how or what. I'm going to ask where. Where does Tim live? Well, Tim lives in Tokyo. Simple. Okay? Let me give you a few more examples. So, Sarah is eating sushi now. So the yes question is Sarah eating sushi now? Yes, she is. No question. Is Sarah eating pizza now? No, she isn't. Okay. So what? That's the key question. What is she eating now? She's eating sushi. You see how logical that is? Is she eating sushi? Is she eating pizza? What is she eating? Okay? Next one. Paul has 2 brothers. Here's my yes question. Does Paul have 2 brothers? Okay. Does Paul have 10 brothers? Okay, so how many brothers does he have? He has 2 brothers. You see how logical that is? That's what you need to do. You need to create those 3 questions for sentences like this. Here's another example. Simon has worked for BizMates for 3 years. Okay? Has Simon worked for BizMates for 3 years? Yes, he has. Has he worked for BizMates for 5 years? No, he hasn't. How long has Simon worked for BizMates? He's worked for BizMates for 3 years. Like that. And the last one. Grace went to the mall with Kevin. Did Grace go to the mall with Kevin? Yes, she did. Did Grace go to the mall with Sarah? No, she didn't. Who did Grace go to the mall with? She went to the mall with Kevin. You could ask, with whom did she? But I think with whom is a bit unnatural. Anyway, you need to ask the yes-no key questions for each sentence that your interview will give you. Okay? So be prepared. Make sure you understand this yes-no key logic. Okay, and the demonstration lesson. Now, we've provided you with a sample lesson plan. Okay, this is not the same one. It's different, but very similar. There are two parts. You see, there are two sides. This side is the student book. You see, it's simple. This side is the trainer's manual. It has all the instructions. Okay? The student sees the student book. You get to see both sides, but you follow the instructions here. Okay? We have the lesson title at the top. I'll just move over here. So, inviting your colleague out. That's the goal of the lesson. We're going to teach the student how to invite a colleague out to lunch, out to dinner, out to a movie, whatever. Okay? And then the next part is the warm-up. This is where we greet the student. Hi, Taka, how are you doing? It's nice to meet you. My name is Hika. Today we will do level 2, rank B, lesson 3, inviting your colleague out. So it has the instructions written right here. Okay? And then the next part is the C part. This is where we introduce, the key points of the lesson. And the student will be looking at this side. They'll see the biz tips and, the example dialogues. Okay? And then we have the try part. So the try part is right here. We have the student part is there. The trainer's part is here. And then we have the warm-up. Oh, sorry. Did I miss the act part? The act part is right here. So you see how they're linked. The C part is here. C part for the student is here. The try part is here for the trainer. The try part is here for the student. So they're all linked. And then the warm-up. Okay, we also have an audio of a lesson. So listen to the audio. It'll give you a better understanding of the lesson flow. Okay? You don't have to give a perfect lesson. But if you don't understand the flow, it means you haven't prepared. So at least do the preparation. Okay, what is a good lesson? Number 1, connect with the student. Connect with them on a personal level. That's so important. Okay? You've got to do that with your personality. Okay? Also with your professionalism. So call on time. 1 minute late is late. You've already made a bad impression. Call on time. Be professional. These are business people, but be friendly. Okay, we have different types of trainers. Some trainers are different type of applicants. Some applicants are too formal. Hello, Mr. Tanaka. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is, it's really like formal and stilted and unnatural. We don't want that. You don't want to be too casual either. Hey, what's up? How's it going? You don't want that either. So it's that balance of, hi, Taka, my name's Hika. It's nice to meet you. May I call you Taka, or should I call you Mr. Tanaka? Which do you prefer? Okay, so you see my tone, my personality is coming out when I speak. That's important. Having that professional side, yet being friendly. Okay? Adjust your English. That's probably the biggest problem that trainers have, trainers with no teaching experience have. Japanese students, a lot of them are beginners. Their English level is a lot lower than yours. You've got to lower your own English so that they can understand what you're saying. That means speaking more slowly, more clearly, using simple words. Not slang, not idioms. Okay, simple English. Okay, hi, Taka. My name is Hika. It's nice to meet you. May I call you Taka, or should I call you Mr. Taka? You see how clearly I'm speaking? Okay? And I'm avoiding, like idioms, slang, or difficult words on purpose. Okay? Teach something of value. Okay? If you just use simple English for the whole time, they might not feel like they're learning. Okay, so here are some things where you could make them feel like, wow, man, I really learned something in this lesson. Thanks a lot for teaching me. You want them to have that feeling. To do that, you make corrections. Look for mistakes. Listen carefully. Oh, Mr. Tanaka, you said he don't like sushi. It should be he doesn't like sushi. Let me type that in the chat box. He doesn't. Okay, so can you try that? Does he like sushi? No, he doesn't like sushi. Very good, Mr. Tanaka. Make corrections, okay? Teach new words and phrases. So every now and then, if the student uses an inappropriate word or like a too easy of a word, for example, if they say, yes, our product is cheap. You can say, okay, Mr. Tanaka, that's okay. Cheap is okay. But maybe a better word is to say our products are affordable. Let me spell that for you. Affordable. Here, look at the chat box. Okay, so again, tell me about your products. Our products are affordable. Very good, affordable. Yeah. You see, and then the student's going to feel like, man, I just learned a new word from this trainer, from you. You want to give them that feeling. Use the chat box, okay? You should make at least 20, maybe 30 entries in the chat box. Corrections, new words and phrases. If you're going to refine the student's English, put that in the chat box, okay? The best teachers know how to use the chat box. 20 to 30 entries at least in a lesson. Achieve their goal, okay? So, and you do that by understanding their needs. Students are not here to learn English. They're here to be able to work more efficiently in English, at their company. So, there's a distinct difference there. We're not just improving their English. We're helping them, do their work better in English. To do that, you need to know what their job is. What company they work for. Whenever I teach a student and I see a company I don't know, I look it up on the internet and go, okay, so he works for an electrical wire manufacturer. Okay. And that gives me a big advantage. I could help the student. Oh, he's an engineer. Okay, so he works in research and development. All that information is extremely useful where you could customize the lesson for the student. So focus on the student, not on the material. Okay, we get a lot of new trainers who just focus on the textbook. Okay, I have to teach this, teach this, teach this. You're not teaching the textbook, you're teaching the student. The textbook is a tool. You still need to follow the flow of the lesson, okay, but it's a teaching tool. Okay? Know the goal of the lesson. Don't get too focused on the parts, or the C part, the try part. Remember the goal of the lesson. The sample that I showed was inviting a colleague out. That's the goal. I want the student to be able to do that, that's related to his work situation. Okay? Okay, so 3 things. Connect with the student on a personal level, teach something of value, and achieve their goal. Okay, if you do those three things, you're going to pass the demo lesson. Okay, so good luck, and I hope we see you in the next stage of our hiring process. Okay, thank you.